Stop recording.
Connie Love here. Alexandria and my story part 4. Video 2. So we're in the townhouse. I had the pod company to bring my pod. We unloaded all my furniture from Ohio and put it into the apartment. It was beautiful. It was a very nice townhouse. And what ended up happening was they saw us coming. And what they did, they went up in the roof. I could hear the ladder going up on my roof. Yeah. Me and my daughter's in the bedroom. We had 2 bedrooms. But we slept in one. I slept in the other one. But the weirdest things really happened in that house. I didn't know about what I was dealing with. I didn't know the kind of danger we were in. And I didn't know exactly what to do. So we'd go to sleep and wake up, barely being able to breathe. They were yanking my daughter's hair out for some reason. She kept getting bald spots where braids used to be, or little ponytails used to be. It's like somebody was cutting her ponytail out of her hair. We went through a lot of that, a lot of gassing, and then infestation kicked in with roaches. Our house got so infested with roaches. Roaches were dropping down in our plate of food. You could hear them fall on the plate. Blessed it, prayed over it, and kept on eating. We must have ate about 10,000 roaches before we left that townhouse. I was like, I gotta get out of here because they're not doing anything. Maintenance was horrible. But at that time, I'm still not knowing what I'm dealing with. I says, okay, we're gonna move again. We're moving every year now. Not staying in one place no longer than a year. So we got approved for 2116 West Denton Lane, apartment number 108. Way back in the corner in the dark, in a 2-bedroom, 2 patios at that time with the little outside patio doors on both of the bedrooms. That's when I started noticing that I was a targeted individual. I looked up why is people following me, and it popped up, targeted individual, and it scared me because I didn't know about being a targeted individual. So I dug deeper into different forms of stalkers. And the stalker that scared me the most was the predatory stalker. He was the one that I couldn't brought tears to my eyes because of what me as well as my daughter, and mostly my daughter, were going through. Because the predatory stalkers are the worst of all. They're the bottom of the barrel. Those people are the most stankingest, disgusting varmints you ever want to run into in your life, and there's nothing you can do to protect a child. Oh no. They said we're going to do whatever we want to do to you, whenever we want to do to you, and there is nothing you can do about it. So we went through that. We went through the nightmare of that. We laid in the bed with stuff being sprayed in our face from across the room. Still not knowing what it is. And when I started doing the research, this is okay. The things that you hear, they're not really happening. You got to ignore them. So I says, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe I do need to ignore them. But it got worse. I started getting pains in my neck and started implanting me when I found out what that was. Then I found out why I had carpal tunnel and why my arms would get stiff and why my legs hurt so bad and why some days I get put to sleep. It was a part of being a targeted individual. And why is my daughter screaming? What is she scared of? She wasn't too scared at 1833 North 18th Avenue, apartment A1. She wasn't too scared in the townhouse. She was more scared on Denton Lane, 1621 West Denton, apartment number 108. She was more scared there. But little did I know, they were preparing her all her life for this point of her life that was going to devastate her life as well as my own. I started noticing my eyes started hurting. I couldn't figure out what it was. My ears, when I'm hearing so good, I couldn't hear as good as I used to. Then I did more research to find out that they can damage your inner ear, and they do that for a reason. And the reason why they do that is so that you cannot hear what they're really doing to you. That's the conclusion I personally came up with. So we lived in apartment 108 in the back for a year. So I talked to the manager and I said, I'd rather be up in the front closer to the parking lot. So when my lease became available, they moved me, same address, 1621 West Denton, to apartment 113. And that's where me and my daughter stayed at for the next year. In that apartment, I could hear them crawling across the rafters in the roof, in between the floors. I couldn't believe that there was a way that they can cut in from your upstairs apartment into the 2-foot crawl space that's between the first floor and the second floor apartment and crawl across and get into your house. I asked somebody about that one time. They says, no, it's not possible. It is. I saw about 4 cuts in the ceiling where they had portals to enter my apartment through that area. Brick is not brick. They can cut brick to make it and stick it back together to make it look like it hasn't been. What we are dealing with is FBI contractors. These are some of the best contractors on earth. They can take a tore up rug and put it together and look like it's never been tore up ever. This is how good these people are, and I had to deal with that. My daughter had to deal with that. The biting started. She started screaming and hollering because she could see what I couldn't see. And she could hear what I couldn't hear. But I was her mouth. She couldn't talk. So I dealt with that. We dealt with that horrible nightmare. Going to the grocery stores, and they upped our targeting at the grocery store pretty good. The gang stalkers would put little sticks in the shopping cart wheels, and the only thing you could hear the whole time, outside of everything they throw on your head to let me know that they're there watching me, is the carts click, 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 around and around and around and around you the whole time you're at the store, because they want to have you so upset that you lash out. But I would take my daughter's wheelchair and push it back and forth, and I would sing Christian songs. And I would sing, the more they did to me, the louder I sung. And I sung in the name of Jesus till we got out that store and got home. Okay, well, this is Alexandria and my story, Part 4, Video 2.